morning. Happy Sunday. It's our live where we answer your questions we got in the comments here on YouTube. I'm Lesley Logan, co-founder of OnlinePilatesClasses.com. And today we're going to talk about shoulder modifications for the breaststroke exercise on a reformer. Before we get into that, 1 week from today, we start spring training. And if you like working out with me here on YouTube, you'll notice we haven't had any new workouts going on for over a year because we've been waiting for this time. 1 week of live workouts on the mat, reformer, tower, one a chair. I'm teaching 3 of them. My OPC teachers are teaching the rest of them. They'll be up to 10. You can buy the mat only track, which is 3 classes for 28 bucks. Yes, there's replays. Yes, there's Q&A sections. Yes, we'll actually look at your form and give you feedback on it. And if you want the all equipment pass, it's $38. $38 for 10 classes from spring training. It is so much fun. If you wanted to work out with me live, this is the best way to do it. So go to opc.me/events. opc.me/events. Okay. Shoulder modifications for breaststroke. I think, first of all, let's make sure we're on the same page as what breaststroke is, because some people get breaststroke and backstroke confused. So breaststroke, it's not like a super advanced exercise, but I would put it in that like towards that category because it's certainly not one of the first advanced moves you'll do. So it is part of our long box series. You hook your thumbs, your hands are on the corners. You want to get your knees at the edge of the box. You do a hamstring curl kick 3 times. You reach the arms forward, they lift up, and you reach them up and open and up and open and up and open. See how I do like a full circumduction? So I'll do that direction again. Again, it's a reach forward. And then you lift, and because your arms are connected to your back, it picks your back up. There's a reverse. You reach out, you go up, and then I have to pull it down, right? And then there's a combo where you do both. You go forward, you go around, you go back forward, and you reach and you reach and you reach and you reach. Okay, so now that we've seen the movements of the shoulder, I think it's quite clear if you have shoulder issues, probably isn't the exercise for you. And if you came here for modifications, this is where I'm going to I have some ideas for you. But it's also why I just want to have a nice little chat. First of all, I don't teach this in a group class of all level people that maybe there's a beginner in there without giving the option of other exercises. So at OPC, if I put breaststroke in a class, you will hear me say, if this exercise isn't right for you yet, you'll do pull straps 1 and 2, right? We all could see the pull straps 1 in this exercise and the T pull, right? So that's where you should be going. If you have shoulder stuff and it allows you to do pull straps, I would replace breaststroke with more pull straps. Also, I like to replace breaststroke with hamstring curls because most people, when they do those kicks, don't activate the legs. The reason I don't have a spotter and I don't need a spotter is because I'm using my legs so much. So if you've got shoulder issues and this exercise is coming up in a class you're taking, or you want it to be in your practice, we've got to take a look at where your pull straps are and your hamstring curls, because if those aren't on point, breaststroke isn't in your practice. The next thing is that I would always learn breaststroke with some 1 pound weights. And I'll do that without the weights here for you. But you would actually set yourself up. It's a little scary because you don't have any springs to be on here, but you're here and you have your weights in your hands and you'll do your kicks. And then you'll reach your arms forward, open them up out to the side, circle them around, and then bend it in, right? And you can do that without extending the back, or if your arms can circle behind your back, that can help extend your back. The thing that I worry about is that if you have shoulder contraindications, most people cannot take their arms forward with weight against it. And most people with shoulder issues cannot go behind their back. And so I would just discourage this exercise entirely. I would actually instead do big swan, swan prep, another down stretch exercise, pull straps 1 and 2, hamstring curls. I would just replace it. And the reason I say that is like it will breaststroke will actually suck in your body. It will feel terrible to limit your range. because you actually will actually have to push against the straps even more to control them a little bit differently because you have a shoulder thing. Now, that's not to say you don't control the straps at all. I have to control the straps to keep them from pulling me into my lower back for sure. But if you have shoulder issues, I worry that about your ability to control the straps from pulling you into your lower back or from it just feeling like it gets stuck in the parts of your shoulders that can handle it. Yeah. So thanks, Megan. Megan said, thank you. It was pretty. Thank you so much. And then when her shoulders are cranky, I adjust. I really think this is where we have to go to a couple things. One, you should always be listening to your body. So I sometimes get really tight in the front of my right shoulder. And I do spine corrector arm series before I start my reformer that day because I want to open this chest up and connect my back. That typically allows, by the time breaststroke comes around, for me to be able to do my breaststroke. But if I go in my first rep and I just feel like, I'm not in my center, I'm in my shoulders, I just stop doing it and I move on. Right? It's like it's okay to skip an exercise. Just because Joseph Pilates created these exercises doesn't mean every exercise is for your body ever or yet. There are some that just might not be for you, right? There's a scorpion exercise in the reformer I will never do. I also don't need it. The other thing that I would suggest is like, are we bringing you up to an exercise or bringing the exercise down to you? If you want to have a long, amazing relationship with Pilates, you want to be on the path of always bringing yourself to meet an exercise, right? If we think about athletes, athletes don't compete on the Olympic level just because they're kicking butt in their regionals. No, they go to the next training coach and the next training coach that takes them and their practice to the Olympic level. There's literally coaches for that. They swim at certain times, they do different drills. Literally every soccer player I've ever seen, I don't even love soccer, does their foundational drills all the time. Why do they do that? They are building their body to meet the moment. Breaststroke comes in that first long box series, but after you've done rowings and swan. And all of that is meant to design to wake up your mid back, to strengthen your legs, to open your shoulders. So if you have shoulder stuff going on, may I suggest that we actually focus on strengthening your arm back connection and discovering what range of motion your shoulders can do and build your body up because someday your shoulder might allow you to do breaststroke and we want you to be ready. Yeah, Brad. So lightening the springs will actually make this exercise harder. I love this question, Chills. Thank you for asking it because I only have heavy springs. The heavy spring allows me to push into it so that I can lift my chest up. If I was using a lighter spring, I would just be able to do the arm movement. I would not be able to lift up into that back bend. And that would why are we doing it then? Because the exercise is meant for you to find the longest reach forward and back and around and work that extension right in the upper back. So if you need a lighter spring, I would say you're not ready for the exercise, and I would prefer that you work towards heavier springs on your pull straps. I would make sure you're working your swans, making sure you're working your hamstring curls. How is your rowing going? If you're an OPC member, I want to see your rowing exercises because a lot of people are letting the springs pull their shoulders behind them. That's not going to help you set yourself up for the breaststroke. Hmm? See them. Oh, how would I see them? If you're an OPC member, you can actually submit videos of you doing the exercise that I just called out that you want feedback on. I can even look at your breaststroke. You can also come to a live class. We had one yesterday, and I can see your form there. If you're not an OPC member, guess what? Spring training. It starts next week. opc.me/events. We'll actually have a 30-minute class and then a 30-minute Q&A where we can take a look at exercises you have questions about your form. Um, I just want to say, like, if I just put like popped a balloon of like deflation around an exercise for you, like I recognize that. I will tell you, I'm a hypermobile body. And so when I did breaststroke, I almost was like on my thighs, with my head. I could kick my feet to my head if I wanted to. And Jay and Sandy, my teachers at Vintage, they were like, oh, I want you to do this exercise without any back bend at all for 6 months. You guys, it was so hard because what I discovered is I wasn't moving from my center at all. My arms were getting pulled off out of my shoulders. And because I had healthy shoulders, I didn't know. And so I had to work to control these straps from my center for 6 months so that I could, thank you for the compliment, Megan, about my breaststroke. The only reason I could do this here is because I had to build my body up for the exercise. So I understand it's frustrating to like think, oh, I don't get to do one because, but it's but why are you focusing on exercise that's not right for your body? Yeah. What if we got obsessed with the exercises that will strengthen your body? What if we get obsessed with those? What if it's okay to have goal exercises, just like athletes have goals for the Olympics or Super Bowl or a Grand Slam? What if we too had goals? And then what if we together, either through my flashcards, my tutorials, my OPC classes, spring training, what if we figured out the plan that built your body up for an exercise? If you have shoulder contraindications, again, this might not be your exercise, but it could be on your goal list, right? Absolutely could be. And then we can work towards that. And we might have to work towards that using a spine corrector or using the Cadillac. And you guys, before you do breaststroke on a reformer, you should be doing flying eagle on the Cadillac. And if you're not, this is your sign to go do that. Super, super important because it is a non-moving apparatus. You're not pushing the springs forward first. You're actually working with the springs in a way that teaches you the movement and teaches you how your arms should move. And you're in control because once as to where the spring attachment is, right? Because the springs are in front of you versus like you're pulling from behind you. So Patty is asking about spotting breaststroke. So Patty, I'm so sorry I don't have an extra hand here, but where it would be on their body is their calves, not their knees, like calf towards the ankle. And after the third kick, they straighten their legs. Do not push down until they've engaged the spring. So they kick their legs as soon as ideally the timing is their third kick is legs straight, arms are forward. It's like that's ideal. Then you push into their leg, but this is the thing that people get wrong. A lot of people push to lift the person. Do not do that. They have to push into you as you push into them for that lift to happen. Otherwise, guess what happens? The springs overpower them, pull them into a back bend that goes into their lower back, could even let their arms get pulled off their back. So you got to figure, like you, the spotter, need to feel when you're pushing too much, right? You got to kind of go, okay. And then as you're pushing and they're finishing the circle, you're letting go of that push and getting out of the way when it's time to kick. So I'll tell you when the spot would happen and when they would start to let go. You just will have to visualize. We'll have to get an AI person. So I'm going to kick 3 times. Third kick, they push right there. And then I'm pushing into them. And right here, they let go so I can be ready to go on my next one. If they let go and I fall, right? If I'm here and they let go and I'm like, right? That means they're pushing too hard for my strength. It should feel very much um, like an assistance to help you engage the backside of your body versus lift you up. I think people get that spot wrong. They think the spotter is to help you make this beautiful breaststroke. No, the spotter is to help you engage your back body because you need your legs to work so much against what's happening with the upper body. Otherwise, you'll get pulled into your well. Ah, any other questions, Brad? Okay. No, but this is a long question. So I'm just gonna I'm with you guys. I'm still with you. Hey Christy, we'll save it to do a longer talk about this, but I will say you probably want to join OPC right now for the May theme is called Build It Up. And the mat class I did specifically is like a groundhog day of mat exercise, which really helps you memorize the order. Um the reformer, here's the thing about orders. And also, so Christy's question also is sort of like different beginnings so people, no muscle gets overworked. If you're doing Pilates correctly, if you're doing Joe's work correctly, even when doing the order, you're never overworking or underworking anything. So if you find by repeating the mat and reformer, you are overworking something, it's because you are overworking something and you're not moving from the center. That is a sign, right? So I just came back from filming for another platform and we met with the owner and she's like, how do you feel? Are you tired? I was like, I'm so proud of myself because my practice is so consistent and the classes I design are so good using Joe's work. I am not too sore anywhere. No muscle was overworked or underworked, and I did 7 workouts in 2 days. Right. And I share that with you, Christy, because what I tend to see people think is they have to curate different beginnings or ends to be entertaining. That's not it at all. The only reason I curate a warm up or a cool down is for what the body needs. And so, Christy, because I haven't seen you move and because I don't know you, I can't tell you what yours is, but I can tell you mine real quick, and then we'll go deeper on this topic. I also teach this in my Elevate mentorship, and we actually just talked a bit about it in the live class for OPC members yesterday. I do my reformer practice usually on a Tuesday or Thursday at 6 a.m. Okay, some 6 a.m.s I am not ready for overhead. Like I'm just not. I can tell from the night before I lifted weights, I'm tight. So before I get to my reformer, I'll do my arm series on my spine corrector. I told you guys about that for breaststroke. Super important, right? So I will do it because it literally is a supported breaststroke, right? And I do it because I need a little bit of extension before I can go overhead for that. If after that I don't go, okay, I'm ready, then I will give myself some arm and leg springs on the Cadillac, get my arms and legs connected to my center, and then I'll get my reformer. But I'm listening to my body and I've built up that connection to my practice. With my clients, it's typical. I actually have an ongoing conversation with them so that they can do OPC classes. It's like, if you know you had a hard day at the computer, getting on your mat and reformer right away might not be the best thing for you. You might have to get on your spine corrector first. You might have to go to the wall and open up your chest first, right? You know your body best. If you are sluggishly going to your practice, you need a warm up that kind of wakes you up, but also puts some things together. Now, Joe made everyone do their mat and reformer. The reason you wouldn't is if you were coming in from work, he did not like dealing with those people coming in straight from work, and he would go make them do their spine corrector, arm series, or their foot corrector. He was like, they need to get their stress out of them. Okay. But after you did your mat and reformer and your orders, you would go do what he called your exercises or exercises for you. And those exercises are based on what you need. So if you're wanting to add breaststroke into your practice, we don't just teach breaststroke one day to go, let's see how it goes. No, we would have been building towards that with your original reformer order that was built for your body. So that's where that pull straps is coming in. That's where the hamstring curls is coming in. Down stretch, all those things are building up. But then over on the Cadillac, when you're off your reformer, I'm going to have you doing some swan with the push through bar. Right? I'm going to have you do some long back arms with the rollback bar. I'm going to have you doing flying eagle at some point, right? Those would be your exercises. And once I see that those are slaying, then we can add breaststroke into your order. So your order would get added into as you leveled up to it. Now, if you're taking OPC classes or any of my classes here, obviously you're doing whatever I'm teaching you. However, but for every single class, I say, if you're not ready for an exercise yet, replace it with something that you can do. Why? Because the exercises you can do that challenge you will build you up for things. So I'll dive into more of that, Christy, but hopefully that like whets your palate and gets your mind thinking. You guys come to spring training. Come to spring training because you can literally ask any question off topic, on topic, get feedback on your form. The OPC teachers are ready. $28 for the mat only, $38 for the all equipment. If you can't join a class live, there are replays until May 10th. So you'll have 2 weeks with these replays. Please, please, please come. opc.me/events. This is the only program that we're doing this year. Don't ask for next time. There won't be one. This is the one. Starts on the 27th. Thank you so much. opc.me/events. Have an amazing day.